Hey everybody, welcome to a very special edition of Feathers and Friends where I'm doing something a little bit different. I've had a few people contact me about wanting to do video game theories, and instead of just doing one or two offsets or what have you, I have Chris. Chris, you want to say hi, bud?
Hi, how you guys doing?
So Chris here has a story about, or he's got a theory on why the Dark Souls game, or what is Eldin Ring, is it right? That just kind of came out?
Yeah, there's a couple now. There's Souls, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne. So now we got to congeal those into one thing.
So the harder game genre, he's got a theory he wants to tell me. Now I don't know much about these games, so I'm actually going to be learning along with you, Chris. I'm going to I'm going to interrupt you when I have questions. So, sir, take it away. For those of us who don't know about these games, I know you gave me a little snippet here, but give me a little bit of backstory, some of your theory, and we'll see where it goes.
No problem. So for myself, I've been exploring like a lot of games that I wasn't able to play when I was younger. I'm using emulators and different stuff like that, and just kind of
Hmm.
going back. And in my Discord too, I get suggestions there, and I was seeing a lot of people playing like Elden Ring and stuff like that. So I was like, man, what is up with these games? Like, what is that with people playing, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls? I'm seeing my friends on PlayStation, they're playing all these different From Software games too. So I'm like, hey. So I went and I was looking into them to decide what I was going to get myself. I ended up getting Sekiro, but these games are essentially like a return to this like harder action RPG of old that is super rewarding, is super hard and challenging, and you're gonna have to remember stuff, and you're gonna die a lot. But you're gonna walk away like a champion. You took your beating, you took your licks, and you're gonna enjoy it. And
Now,
so I'm in the middle of
Sekiro.
this right now.
I'm gonna ask you about Sekiro. What made you choose that out of that's the ninja old school like the old school feudal Japan, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why is because it was not this mix of like medieval knights and French knights and the French, it doesn't have all the, when you look at those other games, they have these big cathedrals and stuff like that. They're really on par with something like an Assassin's Creed in terms
Hmm.
of like these big, gothic historic things. And so I chose Sekiro because I couldn't get Bloodborne because I have a PC and so I don't have a Sony console. And so I got Sekiro also because the min max of like getting a weapon and then or choosing a weapon or maybe choosing magic or maybe choosing something else. I didn't want to kind of go through that min max. I kind of just wanted to walk in one weapon set. You're unlocking these things, or you're getting these orbs to upgrade the one weapon. You upgrade your posture. You upgrade the one thing. I wanted it a little bit more streamlined
Hmm.
because I'm just dipping my toes in.
Okay. Now, for those of
Um,
us who don't know what min maxing is, you want to go ahead and explain that for us?
so min maxing is like, so with these games, like you're supposed to kind of explore in these games, but a lot of times you don't really have enough time, right?
Hmm.
So you kind of want to put the minimum effort to get the maximum result back. And so it'll say, you'll look at something online or on Reddit or something like that, and they'll tell you, hey, yeah, farm this weapon or farm this one because you can cheese this boss or cheese that boss. And then there goes like the exploration. There kind of
Hmm.
goes the spirit of the game just right
Yeah.
on out.
Okay.
So yeah.
The least amount of effort to get the most out of it. I've also heard that like what is it when they nerf certain weapons or something like that? It's, oh, this one's too OP, so everybody choose the saber over the the cutlass or something like that. Wow, that was
Right.
old school cutlass. Yeah, but yeah, it's like choose the saber because okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, number one, how do you feel about PlayStation being a douchebag and not doing cross-platform stuff? And why are they one of the worst companies out there? So,
It's a big blow because I love like the infamous games and I love
hmm.
stuff like that. But I just have been playing God of War, and that's
Oh,
newly on the PlayStation. I mean, that's newly to us with the PC. And so
hmm.
every game, even though I agree with what you said, but they're your words and not mine, Sonny, I have bought every port that has come to PC all the way down to Death Stranding, hoping that like and then waiting to see sales numbers to see like, okay, did it cross like a threshold? Will they bring more games over? So I'm hoping for that.
My boy Miles Morales and Spidey have yet to be ported over, and they've basically said no. So I broke down a long time ago, and I got myself a PlayStation 4, and I just finally now beat Miles Morales. But Yeah, I said forget it. You know, Xbox is really good with it, so I've got the PC and the and that, and I said I have to get a PlayStation because man, I'm so interested in the Miles Morales. I'm just like you. I love some of these stories that PlayStation is putting out, but like the Horizon New Dawn, I that game was hard to me when I tried it, and so we're diverging here. This is what see I was telling you I'm really good at that. I'm really good at that. Uh, so okay, you've got Sekiro now. You're about to dip your toes into it because it's got the least min maxing. So let's go. Let's go ahead. So
Yeah, so I'm halfway through it. It's
okay.
incredibly hard, but I have a really weird method of how I shape my brain around difficult games. I have kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when I play, I have a limited play session. I play with my son, but Sekiro's not a game that you play with a 5-year-old, right? So so I have limited time, and I have an issue sometimes with a game where if I'm not progressing at a certain rate, I lose interest, right? I just did this with Breath of the Wild. I'm going to go back to it, but I just got Metroid Dread and beat it,
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing, 100% every map,
Nice.
and I'm kind of like, okay, I can do this. Like I can still do it. Like I'm not really becoming 30 and getting that rust like I think I am.
Yeah, buddy.
So die, repeat, die, repeat, die, repeat. I can do it. Like I've already done it. I died 157 times on my run of Metroid Dread. So now I'm
Wow.
like, I'm going straight to Sekiro with that same mindset, and now I'm gonna just go through the rest of it. I'm like halfway through.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
So you were telling me in the small little Reddit snippet here, and I'm glad you gave us that backstory. What is it about this genre that you think that this is the I think you would said it was the new defining genre of how video games should be?
basically, yes.
Okay, so let's hear that.
So when Grand Theft Auto came out in 2001, that was such a monumental game. It spawned a genre of games that were like these GTA like games. We used to
Hmm.
call them GTA clones back in the day if you were reading like any kind of, publication or anything like that. So this spawned the same thing in not only a 2D space, but in the 3D, not only in the 3D space, but in the 2D space.
Hmm.
So then from this game or from this style of game or from this interesting games comes like games like Blasphemy, or Blasphemous, I'm sorry, which is another like 2D kind of game that has that same mechanic of they're going to hit you and you have to perfectly time your parry and then you can attack them.
Okay.
And the shrines where like Souls games have shrines where every time you go to that shrine and you heal, it's fine, but you respawn all the enemies in that area when you healed.
What?
So there's a difficulty there. There's these different things that you have to kind of get around, right? Fallen Order is another one. Hollow Knight is another one. And so it's taken over, right? Like we're looking for we almost it's like Fight Club. We want a beating for meaning. We want to feel something.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's hilarious that you had mentioned Jedi the Fallen Order because I like last month I picked up EA Play and I think I made it to the first world with Jedi, the Fallen Knight, and like I like one of the first big bad creatures I encountered was like I'm gonna jack this dude up. No sir, I died at least 10 times, and it was like this is banana sandwich bullshit. And I realized that like oh you gotta lock on, you gotta time this out, and I'm like look I'm good, but I'm not that good, and because like I have a controller, but like
Mm,
dude I'm more of a mouse and keyboard guy, and they're like, "Don't use the mouse and keyboard." I was like, "All right, I can make it." No, so okay, I see where you're coming from with a challenge. All right, all right.
yeah.
So what about this challenge? Do you think is bringing back the old school? Because you were talking about it before, the Mega Mans, and you know the oh, what is that one with the guys where you cut them loose and the hobos give you like upgrades and stuff like that on the beach?
Metal Slug.
Yeah, Metal Slug. Like, what about it? What have you noticed in your limited viewing, with the people that you're working with? Why are these games blowing up when they really shouldn't be? More niche is what they usually are.
I think because the industry's kind of like made games that were a lot more hand-holdy as of late, where like they're really just leading you through like everything. And then a lot of franchises too, I think, are um shying away from their core audience with these difficult games and moving towards a little bit more easier model to gain new people in the game. Like it's great when the same guys or the same, diehards buy your game, but you obviously want new people in the market. That's why I think Elden Ring is almost they used to say that Sekiro was a good entry
Mm-hmm.
in. but I think that Elden Ring and Sekiro are good entries in. I think it's often said that Fallen Order is diet Sekiro
Oh,
because again you have the one weapon, you have the one weapon on the tree that you're unlocking stuff for, that kind of thing.
okay.
So I thought, yeah, that I could support that. I was actually halfway through Fallen Order, but it has that port has bugs on PC,
Hmm.
so I won't be able to complete the rest of my time with it. But I did see with the comparison.
What bugs were you running into? Because I've got about 5 hours into it, and I don't want to get stuck halfway through.
So there's like a frog enemy that was on some planet. I'm not sure exactly which one, but there was a frog enemy that was on the planet. And when you slash him, he's supposed to just kind of like jump up and move to the right, but he jumps completely up and then completely down, like out of frame.
Cool.
So once I saw that, I was kind of like, let me just check YouTube right quick. I want to see someone else's system do this. And I saw the real mannerisms, if you will, of what the boss was supposed to do, and it was nothing like what I was experiencing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm gonna find a glitchy guy. You know what? What is that? Console command death. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all F4.
Yeah. Alt F4. There you go.
Yeah.
So these games, you think gamers are trying to come back into? We want to be rewarded more for the harder it is. We want that reward coming into it. Is what you're telling me here.
Yeah. Yeah. And the DLC model. The fact that it's not like this, it's this complete thing once you buy it. And everything
Okay.
else is simply just an addition. It's almost just like The Witcher. The Witcher in itself is a complete game, but
Hmm.
Blood and Wine and the other DLC are two additional games basically with it. Um,
Okay.
so with Elden Ring, like it's just there, it's just out. With Sekiro, it's just there, it's just out. With Dark Souls 3, it had DLC, but it was great. So it's another one of these like, yes, do that, right? Other people in the industry do that, follow that model.
So they're putting out a game that is not only fleshed out for the most part, but they're giving you a solid game to begin with, and it's difficult but yet rewarding. Because I've heard there's no what is it? There's no easy mode or what have you. It is just this is
Right.
how it is.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, okay. And then when you're talking about the DLCs, because this is what I wish a lot of people would do in a lot of games is if you make me a DLC, I want to understand that it's worth it.
Hmm.
Because like in with what I was talking about before, the Miles Morales stuff or Spider-Man, those DLCs were like 4 or 5. I think it was like only 4 or 5 hours, 5 hours if you really put your time into it. But like it didn't feel worth the $10 an episode that I was playing. It was
Hmm.
maybe like 7 or 5. Now I mean I did get all three at a discount, but like if you're gonna give me a whole other storyline, I don't want to be able to beat the three storylines in a Saturday.
Right.
No, like I beat Lost Ember on a Saturday, but that was like a fan made thing. That was a Kickstarter. I'm not expecting a AAA title like freaking PlayStation, or what. So yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you. Is there anything else that they're really doing that is really making gamers elated to play their stuff or to do what they're, yeah.
Well, I think the thing that they do best that others who are even in the category are not doing. So there's like Surge and Surge 2.
Mm-hmm.
They have a great design. They're doing something way far away from software in terms of it's not gothic like or gothic or what do they call it? Lovecraftian like
Okay.
Bloodborne. It's not knights and stuff like that like Dark Souls. It's not Elden Ring, it's not Sekiro. It's this tech world. It's more cyberpunky. It has a different system for like combat, like where you don't. It's almost like a Dead Space where you don't want to cut certain limbs off because you want to keep that one to upgrade your system. It's great, but the level design it's not as pretty
Mm.
as these From Software games, right? Code Vein has this, but then with Code Vein, like the combat is not as tight. You see it. It's funny because when you look at video of these games, you can see with the lock on that what they're trying to copy. You can see from that
Mm-hmm.
lock on, right? The way that the camera is and the way that the character is and that little dot in the middle, you can tell, but they just don't have the sauce right, if that makes sense.
The pasta's cooked great. You've got a great meat. You got a great protein. You got a great appetizer. You got your perfect drink, but it's just not Italian enough. It's just
It's
not.
not Italian enough. From Software is Italian. Yeah.
I gotcha. So with the games, with it almost feeling like some of these out of left field games that are typically more niche genres. Do you feel like it's going to be starting pushing a lot of these more AAA bigger titles like Madden and like a lot of the other companies to really turn off the easy medium hard system or generate a true fulfilling game like Sekiro and Eldin Rings and the Dark Souls series?
I think that, um, God, and I'm gonna get so much shit for saying this. I don't want to say this like this, so I'm gonna try to edit it in the best way. I think that the annual model or the annual games, I think those pay for these experiences. So I
Okay.
think in a way like Madden and FIFA are actually going to pay for Fallen Order 2. So like we are going to break in because like it's just a roster change. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not, they always kind of sell it. I play NHL,
Mm-hmm.
so I love NHL, and they sell me too. They tell me the puck has new physics. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't, but I you get it. So I think those games they're okay, they're never going to change. I wish they did. I mean, imagine if they had like some sort of quarterback challenge or some sort of something like that that was challenging, that they could esportsify it, where you could have people who want to speed run it, something like that.
I've
But
been I've been bitching about that for like 12 episodes at least on here where I know how EA can fix it, but nope, they're assholes. They won't do it. I don't care.
yeah,
Fuck EA. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just there's so
yeah,
many things that they could do to improve it, but I see your point in that. Like I'm going to buy Men every single year. I'm going to wait till it's on sale for the Steam sale and get it for 75% off, but I'm still going to buy it because I want
yeah,
the new upgraded stuff. So I got
yeah.
you. I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. And if you were if now, it's PC, so I don't even go to a GameStop. I used to love going to GameStop, but the true value of those games is the true value of a sports game is determined the year after it's out. So
Hmm.
that reduced price, that's how much it was the entire time.
Well, see, I have a reason to go to GameStop. She's a very beautiful woman out there, who has no idea I'm interested in her, and we're gonna try to put some smooth moves on her this weekend. Hopefully on Friday when I get paid, when I'm gonna go pick up something, and I'm gonna try my hand at it. But yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, because when I picked up, what did I pick up from her? Oh, I picked up Miles Morales, right? And she's like, "Oh, da 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 da." I was like, "Look, like, lady, I play on PC." She's like, "Oh, well, you can buy Steam gift cards." I was like, "Look, Steam's already got my credit card. They've got my information. I tell Steam what I want, and they're like, 'Here you go. We've already purchased it for you.' You know,
Yeah.
why am I gonna go buy a Steam card? I mean, unless you're gonna give me your number, then maybe, yeah. But yeah, like it is. I feel you on that. Like that actually makes a lot of sense because I remember when I would wait for a brand new game to come out. And I'm like, give it 6 months. In six
Right.
months, I will have just the perfect experience. It'll be technically upgraded. And this was back when games were good. You know, like when Borderlands came out, and they're like, "Oh, we'll fix it. We'll get you an update." And 2 weeks later, it's fixed. You know,
Yeah.
so I feel you.
Yeah.
Anything else that you got out there? Because I feel like I like this the theory that you got there. Anything else you want to throw towards us, or any other feelings you got?
So I have my thing is I want to try the source material. So I wanted to try some From Software games. I was gifted Dark Souls 3. I have to go through that more deeply, but I went through some of the 2D ones because I was just fascinated by the concept of that Metroidvania
Mm-hmm.
version of those games. Just finished Dread, but I want to do Blasphemous because it's a mix of like Metroid and that like, you don't really lock on, it's just 2D, but it still has like that movement and those different things, those different elements in there. I really wanted to do that. I'm playing Hollow Knight, but thanks to Reddit, that's the hardest one.
Really?
So I walked in and then I'm playing like, you know, Fallen Order, which is like one of the easier ones, and then I stumbled across the hardest one, and I'm like, man, I really can't get past this one. And so when I was looking it up on Reddit about Hollow Knight, I was doing it all wrong for one. So I have to kind of reassess how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to go through these. But they are rewarding. You get your ass kicked, but they are rewarding.
I I will 100% agree on that. I just recently tried survival mode on Fallout 4, and that was a whole new game. Like I think I was on my way back from Virgil's place after I had talked to him. I rage quit Sunday. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I died like 4 or 5 times, and having to replay through 20 minutes of something I just did and trying to find new ways and trying to figure it out. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. I mean, I added some extra nonsense that I threw on to make it even harder because I just like, I'm trying it, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, man. Like, yeah, let's go ahead and try the hardest thing there is. Yeah, totally.
What is your time limit? What is your time frame? I often ask people this,
Mm.
like, how long until you just realize you're like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, not even for the night. I mean, like, just you determine you and this are not going any. This game save ends here.
Um, like between when I'm like getting to get frustrated and then when I'm like I'm fucking done.
Yes.
Lately, it's been about 6 hours.
Okay.
That
Solid, like one play session.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Okay.
single. You can kind of see this here. My birds are like literally sleeping right here, but
Okay.
they're all I have. It's just me in this house. I don't have to worry about all that other stuff. But yeah,
Hmm.
like I think I put about 6 hours into that Fallout session where I was just like, okay, I die again, and I found a great little, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push my luck. It just having to doing the alternate is gonna be so much more frustrating than I can thread the needle here, and I thread the needle perfectly, and I turned around, and if I hadn't turned around, I would have lived through it, but I had to turn around because they were like, help, Nick Valentine, he's dead, and I was like, oh my god. So I turned around, tried to fight my way out of it, and I said, fuck it. It had been 6 hours. I think that is the longest I've gone, but
Okay.
the quickest was actually last night. 35 minutes.
What were you playing?
I was playing Insurgency Sandstorm.
And what happened?
I kept dying constantly. Just spawn in, get to the checkpoint. Oh, all right, I'm dead. Okay, all right, just bad start. And I was live streaming it too, and my buddy Brandon was with me there for every step of the way. I quit. I literally just exited out of the game, went to Back for Blood, the Left 4 Dead remake, and
Right.
I said, "Here we go," and I slaughtered on that for a little bit. So yeah.
I played have you heard of like Sigrun for the last Valkyrie in God of War?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
It's really hard, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so this is how nuts I'm getting with this shit.
Please do.
It's so hard that I had to check the Steam achievements because I was like, how many fucking people are really doing this? How many people are really completing this? Like I'm seeing all these people on Reddit. This is actually bullshit. I don't think that people are really doing this. And I'm looking at the achievement for all these different things for like Sekiro, Dark Souls, all this stuff. 13% of people have that. Like a small fraction of the community has these goals or has these accolades. I was like, what the hell? Obviously, this is only representative on PC. I'm not
Yeah.
looking at any other number, but if this is it tells me anything, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm like, you know what? I actually want to do it. And then I think Sony Santa Monica released a statistic or something like that that says like only 1 in 100 people do this, only one in whatever. So I did it for about 3 hours,
Really?
and it was on a Sunday, so it was like the only time I could really push it. I had played for about 3 hours. I could not get through it. I couldn't get her past phase one.
Really?
Yeah, and I hate bosses with phases. It's so annoying. It's three sequences you have to remember. It's like what the so I tried for about 3 hours until I just got wise. And this is how nutty I went with this.
Okay.
I found a game save that had everything unlocked in it,
Okay.
all of it, the whole thing from New Game Plus, God of War. I think it's called Give Me God of War mode, which is the highest difficulty mode where I think if you get hit like twice, you're dead.
Wow.
I got everything. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to speed run to her then. And I'm just going to fight her with everything, but on the New Game Plus difficulty. So I thought, I'm going to cheat, but I'm going to make it fair in a way. I'm going to
Okay.
still make it challenging where I have everything because I kind of get tired of collecting stuff. Remember, I told you the PlayStation has to be, I have to max out the PlayStation. It has to feel, so I didn't want to unlock anything. Went all the way right up to her front door. And so now I'm in the process of that as well.
How's that going for you?
I fought all the other Valkyries. They're a little bit more difficult too. So I fought all the other Valkyries. I just have to wait and fight her, and then that's it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm planning on it this Sunday.
Thank you for already answering the question I was literally about to you because I was going to throw it right back at you and say you got to tell me what it is. So I guess my question is what is your time frame? Like what is the quickest rage quit you've had and what's the longest rage quit you've had?
The quickest rage quit was probably Ninja Gaiden.
Okay.
Because it was like lightning fast, but it was like snail mail.
Oh.
I was really young. I
Mhm.
wasn't like an adult like I am now. I can't just drive back to GameStop and give the game back.
Yeah.
So I like instantly like pulled it out of the Xbox and then like rode my skateboard to GameStop.
Ah.
So I had a lot of time to think about how much I fucking hated this game. And then I was like, you know what, I'm done. I can't do it. Like I really can't do it. A friend of mine later told me, don't I shouldn't have bought the black. I guess that one is the harder one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I haven't touched the game since.
So
So
it was a quick, but it was long. How far? So you rode your skateboard to GameStop, picked it up, rode back, immediately said, "Fuck this." How long did it take you to go back to GameStop and come home?
the gentleman who rang me up saying saw me an hour and a half later.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It must have been about an hour and a half because I was getting through it. Nobody was home. I'm getting through it. I thought it was cool. And then I'm like, hey, I can't heal at all. Like, why can't I heal at all anymore? Like, what the hell's going on? And then that was the end of it.
And this was pre for those of you who are listening and a little bit younger, even though my audience is actually like 30 to 40-year-old females, which is weird
Oh,
according to
okay.
Spotify. Yeah, like this was this was like when you had to go buy the physical code book, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I was either going to go and buy the book. They were really expensive. The Prima book, they were
Yeah.
really expensive. Or I was just going to like try my hand at something else.
You know, I thought I'd be cute with like Borderlands because I love the Borderlands series, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the books, see what. And it was like $40 for the book. I was like, fuck that, I'll get a PDF for free.
That's me too. Yeah.
Jesus. Well, Chris, I want to say thank you for coming on here, man. I know that we talked about it for like just a tiny little bit, but I mean, your theory had some great. It's like I like where you're coming from with it. I do like beating a game on a specific difficulty where I'm just like, this is hard, and then you beat it, and you're like, oh, 15 hours later, it's like, yes, I feel it.
Yeah. Nothing feels better.
So, Chris, you've got a brand new podcast that you're coming out with. For those of you who kind of like this little style here, Chris, tell us where we can find you and what your podcast's all about.
So we are on Arkham Dropouts on Spotify. It's me and my friend Ian, and we're doing just stuff like this. We're talking about movies, games, all kinds of stuff. Come on down. It's a party.
And you've just hit episode number 3, right?
Wampin number 3. We're doing it.
Nice. Well, everyone, don't forget in all of the links down below, especially in YouTube and stuff like that, you're going to be able to see where you can catch Chris at. Chris, hang tight for just a second. I'll lead us on out here. So this is, like I said, a very small episode kind of that we're doing. I think we're going to be dropping these on Tuesday. I'm going to try to throw out some theories. You can check out the video and watch me and Chris banter back and forth, or just keep listening on Spotify and wherever you find us. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chris.
Peace, y'all.